Welcome back to Dude, Could You Imagine? The show that asks what if and explores the hypothetical and absurd. I'm your host, Fritz Frivolous. Now let's meet our contestants and explain the rules for our audience. The rules are simple. Our two contestants, Will and Tom, will place these neural transmitters on their heads, and then they will be placed into a deep coma-like state. From this point, I will ask them a question or give them a scenario to which they must answer, all while the neural transmitters give us a glimpse into what they are imagining. So, Will and Tom, are you ready? As ready as I'll ever be.
Indeed.
Well, you heard him, folks. Let's get ready to play Dude, Could You Imagine? And the question is, could you survive an attack from a cryptid? Okay, William, we've already heard the question, and last week I went through the scenario of if I were able to survive an attack from a cryptid.
Yes, and you did. Good job.
And yeah, I'm glad to report that I didn't die. I was very surprised. Yeah, I know. Me too. I was actually more surprised than you were probably that I didn't die, but everything seemed to fall into place, and along with the help from my dog Chewy.
How shocking was the monster when it was revealed? Because you didn't know what you were up against.
Shocking, because that thing looks gross, man.
It's horrifying.
I mean, it's one thing to if I didn't know, when I didn't know it, and so there was the fear of just the unknown of what the hell is this? But when you see it, I mean, it's just especially this thing, it just was
it's absolutely horrifying.
Definitely out of this world type of a thing, Also, I'm going to need you to get out a D10. And we're gonna have
lucky for you, I have this brand new shiny dice set I just got the other day. It is titled Gunpowder Alchemy, and it's gorgeous, man. Cool. These things are it's black numbered with a clear acrylic outside, and inside is I'm not sure what the material is, but it's designed to look like gunpowder smoke. It looks pretty cool.
Oh, that is awesome. You're going to have to send me a picture of those.
I will. I shall. And you said a D10?
Yeah, a D10, and let me know what you roll. So this is going to be what you were doing or where you were when you encounter this
right
cryptid.
Into it. Where will I be struck down? I rolled a 7.
A 7?
A 7.
Okay. You're playing video games.
Okay, cool.
So I've never just like with what happened with you. I've never I've never been to your house, so I don't know
That's
exactly
true.
how the
That's
layouts
true.
of things. Where do you play video games at?
I either play in my bedroom or in my living room. Lately I've been playing God of War in my living room. That's in the middle of the day.
Okay.
Usually while, I'm with my son, if he gives me enough time and calm time to actually play. Otherwise, late at night, I'll be in bed on my Switch playing Final Fantasy 12. Lately. That's what I've been playing lately.
Okay.
So go ahead.
I was going to say, okay, let's say you're out in the living room. Now, I'm assuming out in the living room there's some windows.
Yes, I am upstairs, if that matters to you.
Okay. You're upstairs, you're playing God of War, and it's daytime.
Uh-huh.
And when you're playing God of War, which, by the way, I'm replaying right now as well.
For sure.
Before part 2 comes out. But I remember in the game, there's definitely beasts in the game and stuff. And, there's a lot of noises and things that come along with that.
Yeah.
So I imagine that, you're playing the game and you're having the volume kind of up a little bit. And so all of a sudden you see shadow, something just go by the window very quickly.
Okay.
And so something goes by and it looked rather large in the corner of your eye. What do you do?
Well, so the thing about the window, the only window up here, in the living room is there is a tree that kind of like doesn't block the window, but like it grows right up against the window. So this thing would probably make some noise too. I don't know if unless this thing is like phantom like, but I would imagine it would probably like I would look and I would see the tree kind of like lingering movement from the leaves and stuff vibrating. Do I?
Yes. You definitely see leaves kind of falling, even like something had went through the tree. Mm-hmm. You see the tree's branches kind of shaking, rather like kind of a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sure. Okay.
Yeah. So
if it was the middle of the day, I would think one of two things. I would think something either fell off the roof. Or does it go? Is it you said it's going past? Is it like going from like left to right, or is it going from up to down?
No, it's going from like left to right.
Okay, or I'm gonna think like some wild animal got into the tree.
Okay.
So I'm probably gonna grab my baby because he's probably like stomping around the living room with me, and I'm gonna call downstairs to my fiance, who is usually working on furniture down there. But the thing is, like, I'm probably not too frightened at this point. I'm probably gonna be like, babe, you gotta come see this. There's something in the tree, because it's the middle of the day. I'm not thinking there's some fucking ghoul monster.
No, that totally makes sense. Yeah. And then, would you call it a glue monster?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you're putting at me. But I'll probably put Liam in his playpen and run over the window to look around and see if I see, like, I don't know, like, where we live, there are like bobcats and there's even pumas out here. So like it would be crazy, but like it could happen. There could be a very large predator cat in my tree, and I'm very much a nature person, so I would love to get a look at that. So I'm definitely looking.
Okay. So does this tree extend farther upwards past the window as well?
No, not really. Like its top is maybe like 6 inches above our window line.
Oh, okay. So you see the tree moving, and then you also hear like kind of heavy footsteps, I guess,
on the roof.
Like, scratchy footsteps while the tree's moving. Like you kind of hear, like movement up there. Like going back and forth. What are you doing then?
Okay. Well, first I want to ask you, what time of day is it?
I don't know. What time of day are you normally when you play video games in the living room? Is it morning, afternoon?
It would either be somewhere between 9 and 10 o'clock or sometime between 1 and 2 o'clock. That's how strict my schedule is. I have like little blocks I can play video games.
Okay, let's say it's like 1 to 2 o'clock.
1 to 2 o'clock. Okay. Mm-hmm. So my daughter's not home from school yet, and we're supposed to go pick her up soon. My mother-in-law's downstairs. Okay, at that point, I think we'd be a little like, whoa, what the hell? And we'd probably alert the mother-in-law. And Manny, my father-in-law, he would be close to getting home around that time. He gets home around 1:30, 2 o'clock. And so if we're hearing, the noise up there, we're probably, what the hell? I'm sure Rose would call Manny and tell him, and he would be like, what the fuck? And he'd probably like on his way to see what the hell's going on.
Man.
And we would be listening, and I would be like, what the hell? But I also wouldn't go outside because I don't know what that is, but that's like probably not a mountain lion, and whatever it is, it's probably a fucking crazy person. So we'd probably like lock all the doors, close all the windows, all that stuff, and like sit tight and wait for, Manny to like drive by and see what the fuck's going on or whatever. So
so poor Manny. So
I mean, I don't think Manny's gonna get out of the car. I think he's gonna like drive up, look, and then if he doesn't see anything, then he might get out of the car and I mean, hell, he might call the police on his way here.
Okay, so this is what happened. So you guys lock the doors and whatnot, and you're waiting inside the house, and you see Manny get home.
You know what? Sorry. You know what? I'm thinking about it. We're gonna think it's a crazy person. I guarantee you, 1:30. We're calling the police. But go ahead.
Okay,
but we've also told Manny though. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. So Manny gets there first, and he gets to the house, and he doesn't see anything. And so he gets out of his...
What happens during that time? Do we just continue to hear it the whole time?
No. So now the noise stops. Okay. Once Manny starts driving up to the house, the noise quickly stops.
Okay.
And you don't hear anything. And the tree has stopped swaying and moving. So Manny doesn't see anything, and he gets out of the car, and he's just kind of looking around like, at the house, like, okay, that's weird.
Yeah, I think that sounds realistic.
Yeah. Then, all of a sudden, a quick shadow passes by him from above. And all of a sudden, before he even gets a chance to look up to see what it is, he just hears, screech! And this loud screech come down. And you see...
It's a fucking pterodactyl?
This is the big reveal.
Oh, God.
You see...
So I'm looking out my bedroom window, and then I see Manny on the driveway.
Yes, and now he's looking terrified as he looks up and notices, well, wait a minute. Did you tell me the name? No, you didn't tell me the name. You just
no, I just described it to you.
That's true. And I'm
picturing a pterodactyl. I just want you to know that.
Okay, hold on. Hold on real quick.
Oh, you're gonna send me an image on Discord?
Yeah, I'm gonna. Right. Can I just text it to you?
Yeah, but I have my character sheet open via our text photos.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Not that I've had to roll this whole time.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, go ahead. Yeah, dude,
I know.
Ahead. Yeah. It's all good.
Okay, I'm gonna send this. Hold on. Let me know if this pops up.
Okay, I got a link. I'm clicking it. What the fuck? Oh, so it's like an Eldritch abomination. It's like something out of a Lovecraft scene. I'll go ahead and describe this to the audience. So what I see here is a large leather-skinned flying creature. It's got a singular eye. It has a large beak, and out of the beak are 8 tentacles, each longer than a man is tall. And it has feathered wings, and this thing's huge, and it's got a long tail, and it's disgusting looking. Oh, this is beyond this. Well, number one, Manny's dead. Sorry, Manny. That sucks.
Yeah, that sounds like poor Manny.
At this point, we're moving. I'm literally ushering everyone downstairs. It's like, everyone get downstairs now. Like, we're hiding in. Let me see here. Honestly, so we have a room between the garage and the rest of the house. So it's like the most center, least easy to access from the outside room in the house. We're rushing into that room. Obviously, we've called the police. We're probably blowing up the police now, all three of us. And
okay, yeah. So you're all three of you are blowing up the police. You're at where now? Did you say in your house?
So downstairs there is a room, an area. I don't know how to describe it. Yeah, it's between the garage and the rest of the house. It's like the most centermost room with the least amount of access to the outside, if that makes any sense. It's like, in order to get to this, it would have to either smash through the roof and through a floor, or it would have to get down into a hard to squeeze alley and try and push its way through a door, or it would have to smash through half the house. So that's where we're going.
Okay, so it sounds like a mud room or something like that, like where you walk into and you could take off like any kind of boots or wet clothes or whatever before you enter the actual house, right?
Kinda, yeah. It's
Okay. So you guys are calling the police, and they, let's see how long they say they're busy, and they say it's going to take this long before they get there. Oh my god!
Well, they never say.
Okay, but it's going to take them 80 minutes, so hour and almost an hour and a half.
Yeah.
To get to your house.
I mean, I don't even think that's far fetched. I think also what I would do is I would be texting and calling everybody that I know. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I would just be like getting the word out there, getting them to call the police. Like, if we create enough of a upstirring, like, I'm sure the police would be like, okay, something's going on here. Like, we got to get over there.
Okay, let me see if this thing flying around, because it's rather large.
I'm sure the neighbors noticed this giant dinosaur Cthulhu monster.
Yeah, let me see if anyone else notices and starts calling as well.
As a matter of fact, we know some neighbors, so we'll call them and tell them to call.
Okay. So other people have noticed, and let me see how many other people will call. Okay, 3 other people called. So since 3 other people called, and now the police are definitely like, okay, wow, this is very weird. Everyone's in this area is describing something that, even though it sounds crazy to them, something's going on. So they're going to cut. So their response time is cut in half. So they'll be there in about 40 minutes, 40 minutes.
Okay. In the meantime, I think all of us are going to arm ourselves. We have multiple guns in the house, so.
Okay. So now, unfortunately, sorry, Manny, but Manny is dead.
Yes, no, he's done for.
You I don't want to be too graphic here, but you basically saw him being swooped up by this monstrosity and literally just dropped from a height.
Oh, it didn't even eat him?
Falls down. Not at first. It drops him down, and he's dead. Then you see this monster go to his body and start picking him apart to eat him.
Okay.
Now, when you see this thing pick Manny apart, you notice that every time it's striking him, the beak sounds weird. It actually sounds like it's clinking, right? Like pink, pink, pink. So when it turns around, it knew that people were in this house, right?
I mean,
it knows you guys are in
lots of people in all these houses. Why ours?
Yeah, it just happened to notice, right? Okay. It just happened to pick one.
Yeah.
No rhyme or reason. This thing isn't really intelligent. It's just instinctual.
Okay.
But it does have a metal beak and very strong talons. So it actually can break through the windows.
Well, I'm sure it could.
I'm assuming that. Let me see here. Let me roll to see. It smashes the window. Yeah, I'm assuming in your house there's one large window, right? Like at least.
Yeah. I mean, there's windows all over the house. Yeah.
Windows. Okay. Let me see.
I mean,
where is the largest window located?
I mean, the largest would be. I mean, I would imagine it would be the big window near the front door. Like into like the, I don't know what we would call that room, the sitting room.
Okay.
And but again, there's like a big ass what do you call a porch and like a deck and a bunch of stuff in the way. So it'd have to crash through all that, get through a pillar and get to that window. The other windows would be the backyard sliding doors, but those aren't like your traditional giant window. They're like big heavy wooden doors with like panels, like little 1 foot by 1 foot square window panels on them.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm assuming that in relation to the front door, the room that you're in is kind of in the more towards the back of the house, right?
It's so if you were to try and get to this room, so let's say you came in through the front door, you come in through the front door into the sitting room, take a left at the hallway, go to an adjacent adjuncting hallway and take another left through a big heavy door, and then you would be in that room. And then on the other side of that room, there's another door that goes into the garage.
Oh, okay. And does the garage have windows?
I mean, it has those little windows.
Okay. So let me see. So it's obviously going to be able to break through the glass, but let me see if it's able to get through right away. Okay. So it gets through. So it breaks through the glass at the front, the window. It gets, because I don't know the size of the window in relation to what this size actually is of this creature.
I mean, the size. The size of this creature. I mean, look, it has a man in its tentacle, right? And the tentacle, the tentacle that has the man is 3 times taller than the man, and that tentacle is about a quarter as long as it is from beak to tail. So it is 12 times longer than a man is tall. And if a man is 6 feet tall, we're looking at 72 feet long.
Yeah, so it wouldn't easily fit through it, but I'm assuming it's basically destroyed the window and the wall.
Destroyed the entire section of the house for sure. Yeah.
So it's in there, but it's searching for you, right?
Yeah. I just don't see how this thing can fit down any of the hallways.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna fit down the hallways, but let me see if it could catch your scent. Mm-hmm. Okay, it doesn't catch your scent.
Okay.
So it's gonna. Okay, what do you guys do at this point?
I mean, at this point, we're trying to protect the kids. You know, we got a washer and dryer in here. Like, I think last resort, we would stuff the kids in there if it broke in.
Okay.
And they're big, heavy duty metal washer and dryers. And then I think we would just have the guns ready and be waiting for something to try and break in.
Okay, so you might have to help me on this. I know that there's going to have to be some type of a check rolled here because, okay, so it doesn't know where you are exactly in the house. It didn't catch your scent. That's what I rolled for right now. But what would we see to roll? Let's say if the kids or your baby or whoever got too scared and made a noise, like screamed.
Oh, dude, my kid would
cried
already be screaming. Are you kidding me? Like, yeah, there's
okay,
no
but
way. It would look at us and know something was wrong, and he would just start crying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess we don't have to roll for that.
Nah.
So I guess the kid so I guess Liam just starts crying. You said Scarlett isn't home yet, right? Because you didn't pick her up.
Yeah, that's right. So she's safe at school.
Okay, cool. That's awesome. Okay, so now this thing hears Liam, and now it knows at least what direction it needs to go through.
Okay.
So right now, let's see. Let me see if it. I'm assuming. Let's see the first wall. If it gets through the first wall of the first hallway.
Like,
okay.
I wish you could see the layout of my house because I just don't know how this is possible. Like, it would have to break the entire house in half to get to us.
So I'm kind of assuming that it's kind of doing that. I'm just giving you some time to see how quickly it does. Because with the metal, because it has a metal beak. I don't know
if the rest of it's made of flesh.
Yeah, very, very tough hide. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, if it breaks through, so where it's at in the sitting room, right? Like, if it were to try and break through the wall that's between, like, that's toward us, there's then like a bathroom there, right? And then there's another wall. It'd have to break through that wall, because it can't fit down the hallway. You know what I mean? Unless it like just breaks both hallway walls to in order to fit itself.
Yeah. I mean, this thing,
it is huge.
This is what I'm trying to give you a chance of is it's going to eventually reach you. Okay. Now, it's like, I'm trying to see if
how
you're
quickly?
Going to, how quickly it'll either get to you, or are you going to try to go out to stop it before it does? You know what I mean?
Okay. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. No. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, okay, so did it break through the wall into the bathroom?
So it did not break that first wall. At the first strike that it gave, it didn't break the wall all the way through yet.
Okay. So I think at that point, Michelle has probably Liam and is backing up towards there's a door that leads out into like a very narrow, like cement alleyway, like on the side of our house, kind of where that tree was or is, and then from there you could go out the side gate. Right there are the cars. So I think she's backed up like in that area because the sound is coming from the opposite wall.
Today's show is brought to you by Behemoth Bird Repellent. Are foul-feathered flying friends causing a problem for you? When you have a big problem, get a bigger solution. Behemoth Bird Repellent's patented chemical formula is guaranteed to solve even the biggest of bird problems. Available at all Eldred Marts. We are also sponsored by Patreon. Looking to become more than just a patron? Become a Patreon member at patreon.com/dude-could-you-imagine and show your support. And finally, Apple Podcasts. Take a bite into the apple and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Now, let's get back to some more Dude, Could You Imagine? Okay, I gotcha. Okay. And what are you doing? Are you going with her?
I mean, no, no, and we're not leaving yet. It's just like that she's probably backed up to that point because
backed up.
There's noise coming from the other end and vibrations and breakage and all that other stuff. So I'm probably standing in kind of the room's midpoint with my gun aimed and ready for this thing to either kind of burst through one of the doors or I guess the wall. I don't know if we figured out it's bursting through the walls. We just know big noises coming from a direction.
Yeah, exactly. It sounds like something is fucking up the house, like, you know, from the inside. Like, you can just hear everything being demolished, but you don't actually know yet, you know, if it actually broke through the walls. Actually, let's see. Let's see if it breaks. Okay, so actually the first wall that you said, you know, where the bathroom are, it's gotten through that now.
Okay, I mean, I think at that point we can hear that it's in the bathroom.
Yeah. You probably hear all the porcelain smashing and stuff.
Yeah. Which makes me like, I think at that point I'm faced with the decision of like, hey, right now it's the most like, it's the most into the interior of the house that it's gonna be. Like it would be a bitch to back out of that. Like, do we run for the cars now, or do I just have them be ready, and when that thing starts to break through, I'll start shooting at it, and they'll run for, you know, as while I got its attention, they can run for the cars.
Okay, yeah, what would you?
That's what I'm trying to decide here. Because it's like, on one hand, I would also be thinking, well, fuck, if I shoot it, it might try and back out of this place, and then they would be fucked. You know what? Yeah, I know what I'll do. So I'm gonna tell Rose and Michelle to take Liam into the SUV, and I'm going to start yelling and shouting to try and keep its attention on me.
Okay, let's see.
And then what I'm going to tell her is, once like the car is, you know, on and ready to call me, and I'll book it for the car. But if that creature comes out before like I'm out, then just go.
Okay, so
that's what I'll tell her. That'll be the game plan.
Here's the part where I'm going to need your DMing expertise. So I'm assuming I can roll. I'm probably going to have to roll a check to see if this creature is focused on you now, or if it will notice them running out, right?
Well,
or is that something that you would roll?
I think this is something you would have to decide, because you know the intelligence level of the creature. That being said, like, it heard noise over here and started to break through, and if it hears me yelling, I don't think it's going to hear them very far away getting into a car that you know they would have to back out of 2 rooms through broken glass and shit, and then into a front yard where it still can't see the driveway, and go around the house to the driveway and then see them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I mean, okay. I mean,
like, that's how I feel about it, but I don't know the capabilities of this creature. I don't know what this thing is.
Yeah. No, that would make sense. I just felt like there should be some check here, like maybe a check of like, okay, how loud are you? Maybe, I don't know what type of check that would be. Like, what kind of a
like how distracting I would be? I guess. Exactly. I'm a performance check, I think.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay, and I am trained in performance. I have a +3. 18. I rolled a 15 plus 3.
Ooh, okay.
First roll of this
most
die.
Definitely. Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, I'm probably calling this thing foul names. I'm like talking shit.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Customers at the top of your lung. things that make Rose and Michelle and everyone go like, "Oh my god, I can't believe Will said that." Like,
I don't think there's anything I could say that they would have that reaction to.
Oh, really? Okay,
No,
okay.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Cool. That's actually pretty funny. Okay, so this is happening now, and now this thing is enraged because it can hear you. You know what I mean? Like,
Is
it
this
knows.
motherfucker talking shit?
Yeah, it's like, what'd you say to me? What'd you say about my mama?
Okay.
Let's see. So, okay, I'm assuming if he pushes through like one more wall or so, he's at you, correct?
Yeah, although the room is very narrow. That's why I had trouble describing, because it's almost like another hallway. I would say it's like from wall to wall, maybe 7 feet wide. And then, but lengthwise, it's really long. From the wall, it would be breaking into to the opposite side door. It would be more like 20 5 feet.
Okay. So what? Okay. So I already rolled, but this is what actually happened. So, okay. Now that I'm glad you actually described me that. So what actually happens is it does break through, but it, like you said, it sees you now. Now it can see you, but obviously it can't fit down the narrowness of this hallway. But its beak is very close, and it's almost close enough. Yeah, and the tentacles. And
okay, so if it breaks through, if I see it starting to break through, I'm gonna back all the way up and have the gun ready. And the second like anything pokes through, I'm gonna start opening fire on it. Okay,
what about what would that be, like a dexterity check to see if you dodge the tentacles and the beak?
Well, okay, that's I'm trying to retcon with you because like if this thing starts to break through, well then like the second
you would
I
already
see,
start shooting.
Its mouth coming through, I'm going to start opening fire on it.
Okay,
you know.
Okay, so on this point, you would have to you would roll to see if you landed shots, or you'd probably like. I mean, it's point blank. I think you would land.
No, I'm backing up to the opposite side of the room. That's 25 feet away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's like as things are happening, like I'm reacting. So it's like, okay, this thing's about to break through the wall. I'm at the midpoint of the room. Oh shit, it's breaking through. I'm gonna back up and start firing. So
okay, what would you roll? That would
be a ranged attack in which I'm not proficient. So I have a -1 to this roll.
Okay.
I rolled. It ends up it's a 6.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that wasn't good enough. Okay, so. I guess now on this one, it would have to see if one of the tentacles could reach you, right?
Again, like, okay, so I was firing on it the second any of it, because like, okay, is it breaking through these walls like it just, wall's gone now? Or is it more like, it's slamming against the wall and then it bursts through a little bit and then I could see its eye and then now I could see its beak and then bam, now its head's through, Is it a more gradual thing like that?
So it was more that it burst through, but you could only basically see its head, beak, and tentacles. You can't see the rest of the body because of how narrow the room you're in. Okay. And it's not necessarily
if it's just bursting through with single slams, then yeah, that doesn't give me much like time to do much more than shoot at it.
Yeah. So okay, but you did try to shoot it, but it wasn't enough. So these bullets basically, they missed the tentacles, but they hit the beak, and the beak's metal, so it didn't really do that much,
Okay.
Kind of just blink, what kind of gun did you have?
I don't even know. It's a handgun of some sort. I don't really know the details.
Okay, so then now, if I wanted to have... so now he's going to try to swipe and grab you with one of the tentacles.
So at this point, the way you would do that is on all monster stat blocks, any attack a monster has a set reach, like reach 15 feet, reach 10 feet. So I don't know what stat block you're using or if you have one that's accurate to the monster you're using, but that is generally in 5th edition how range is decided for melee attacks. So like this is a 72-foot monster, so it would be size category I forgot what's above huge. I think it's colossal. So its reach is probably going to be 15 feet. Let me see.
Oh, and that might not be able to reach you because you said the room was like 25 feet, huh?
I'll use the most famous tentacled monster I know in the game that's absolutely fucking huge. His name's Demogorgon. I'm going to see what's Demogorgon's tentacles reach. Let's find out. His tentacle reach is... Oh, his is only 10 feet.
No.
I would say it's 15 feet, although I don't think I've ever seen a reach more than 15 feet. Let me see a Hydra, because Hydras are fucking about the same size as this monster. Hydra, D&D 5e. Hydra, heads. They only have a 10-foot reach, too.
Oh, wow.
And they're a huge monstrosity. So I would say 15 feet.
Okay, 15 feet. But that's not long enough, is it, to reach you from there?
No, I'm definitely like somewhere between 20 and 25 feet away.
Okay, so what he's going to do is let's see how many feet he can advance by trying to push through these walls again.
Okay.
I will roll. Okay, yeah, let's see. Ooh, okay, he was able to push 11 feet forward.
Okay. Okay, I mean, Really though? Because that's like 11 feet of like drywall and wood and planks and like there's a water heater. He just bursted through a water heater.
Let's make this let's make this more interesting. Actually,
and there's a washer and dryer. Right. I'm like, really?
Let's make this more interesting. Hold on. Okay, I rolled a D4, so he went through 3 feet. He moved.
That makes a lot more sense. Yeah. Although he just bursted a water heater because that's literally like his head was right next to a water heater when he burst through.
Oh, let's see if that would. How would I check to see if that may hurt him?
Make him make a Constitution saving throw with the DC for a water heater exploding on essentially your left shoulder would probably be pretty high. I don't know, a DC 14. So a strength save with a DC 14 is what I would probably roll it as.
Okay, let's see. Oh, at 14. I rolled a 14.
Okay, so it resists the fire damage, if you will.
Okay, cool.
It's a horror show. Okay, it's at this point that I'm opening the door and going out. I'm like, at this point, I would have hoped that Michelle would have texted me already that she got the car started. Like I asked her to.
think they would have. Yeah, I think by this point they would have.
I'm booking it to the car. This thing is like wedged inside the house now. As a matter of fact, this house is probably going to fall on it at some point. Like I can't imagine how it's going to get the fuck out of here. But I'm hopping in the SUV and we're getting the fuck out of here.
Okay. So when you hop in the SUV, it knows that you have left now. It saw you. It saw me, but it does have a little bit of trouble backing out of the mess it already had made, right? Let's see if the cop has showed up yet.
The cop? Dude, I'm sorry.
Or the cops. I mean, the cops.
Yeah.
Let's see if the cops show
and
up
also, remember, at this point, people everywhere around the neighborhood has heard a giant monster and all the exploding water heater and all the crashing and stuff. Like, people are going to think there's like a terrorist attack or something happening.
Oh yeah, they've all gone. Everyone else has fled. So the cops.
My point is, like, the police would know that there was some, like, they would think an explosion went off or something.
Yeah,
they would send the bomb squad. Like, they would send the fucking cavalry.
Yeah. So the cops have showed up. Let me see how many.
Cool. How many?
Okay, 11 units have shown up right off the bat.
That sounds about right.
Don't worry. I got this part of the game. It's just the other parts of the game. Okay, so 11 units have shown up, and they can see because your house, that part of your house, it's destroyed. It's smashed, right?
Yeah.
This thing is now turned its attention. You've made it to the SUV with Michelle, Rose, and your kid. It's now turned its attention to the cops, but let's see if you can get the car started and
the car's already started.
The car's already started. Let's see if I'm assuming I don't really know where the car is in relation to, because it's now at the front where it broke into and it's ready to step out of the house. Okay, I don't know if that's going to be considered, like, what do you call one of those like opportunity attacks when you try to like move away from an enemy?
That only happens if you're within melee reach of the enemy.
Okay, so, but instead of that, what I was trying to do was like, let's see if it'll stay its attention on the cops or if it's going to pay attention to your SUV when you drive off. How would we? Is that another like performance check or?
Yeah, I mean that would be like.
I'm assuming. Are you driving?
No, because remember I told Michelle to take off if she didn't see me before she saw the monster. So she's in the driver's seat, so I'm just hopping in.
Oh, okay, so it's Michelle driving. Okay.
Yeah. So as for who it would choose as its prey, that's kind of just a DM call. Like, what do you think it would do? But also, I would tell Michelle to obviously like fucking get out of the driveway. Let's get behind the cops, but also let's not take off because like a lot of predators, they like to like for instance, I've had a lot of dogs, and certain breeds of dogs, they have this natural instinct for if something runs from them, they'll chase it.
Yeah, they want to chase it. Exactly.
It's just like cats do that shit too. So like
that's the whole reason why I wanted to bring.
Yeah,
this
so
up.
I'm definitely telling her like don't take off yet because like our movement might make and then it just flies away from the police and then their artillery means nothing. So my main goal is for us to back up and get behind the police.
Okay, so that's what your course of action is?
Yeah.
Okay, because you did that, smart choice. Because I was going to say if you tried to, I was going to say it's going to chase you. But okay, so because you did that, the cops are now opening fire on this thing. So it is totally focused on the cops.
Yeah.
There's a huge. Let me see. It gets out of the front of the house. It kind of hops and hovers towards where all the cops are at. And it swipes its tail. Let's see how many cops that takes out. That takes out 10 units.
Wait, what? Okay, it takes out 10 units with a single tail swipe. Like, this thing's size keeps adjusting. Like, that would take Godzilla.
Yeah. Well, didn't you say this? Well, I guess Godzilla is bigger than 72 feet.
Yeah, Godzilla is like 1,000 to 2,000 feet tall.
Okay. Let's see. It takes out 2.
That's still fucking super impressive. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
it takes out 2. Well, what happens is it hits one with the tail, and that unit, that car, crashes into the next one.
Now we're making sense. I like this.
Yeah. Okay. I need to be logic based here for William. So it hits one car. That car smashes into the one next to it. The police, though, luckily, because they weren't like actually inside the vehicles, they're outside, like behind the vehicles, like shooting at it. The actual police weren't killed, but those units are gone. So at this point, they're all firing on this monstrosity,
and it's at this point that I tell Michelle, let's go.
Okay. And also that's perfect timing, because I was just about to say, at this point, this monster also has enough. Like, it, you know what I mean? Like, it's too much that's going on, and it can fly, and it's like, why am I going to stick around here?
I'm so glad that cops have body cams on at all times, because I there was a couple times where I wanted to say, oh yeah, I bust out my phone and I record it, but I know myself in real life, I would never think to do that, because I'm just not wired that way. So I'm glad that all these cops are going to have body cam footage, and this shit is going to hit the internet like crazy.
Hold on. Let me see something. Oh, guess what? They all forgot to turn on their body cam. No, just
no, don't you even.
I know that. Yeah. So what ends up happening is you're now a media sensation of the family who was attacked.
Yeah, I was about to say. As a matter of fact, I spoke to police in our county not that long ago before I quit the job, and they were telling me how they don't even have control over that shit. It's just on.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that too. I have a couple of family friends that are in the police department and in the sheriff's department. Yeah, they've told me the same thing.
Yeah. So okay, sweet. So hopefully insurance covers our house, and I'll write a book.
Yes, your insurance covers the house. You start getting interview options, and you start getting money from people who want you to be interviewed, and you go on one show, and it's called The Monster Hunters, and it was a German. It's hosted by a German scientist a German cryptozoologist who tells you that this monster is called a Snellygaster. And,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's called a Snellygaster, and let me pull up real quick here.
The infamous Snellygaster.
Yes, it was first in the 18th centuries when it was earliest accounts, and the area of Frederick County was settled by German immigrants beginning in the 1730s. Early accounts describe the community being terrorized by a monster called a Schnellergeist, meaning quick ghost in German. The earliest incarnations of the creature mixed half-bird features of a siren with the nightmarish features of demons and ghouls. But later, the Snellygaster was described as half-reptile, half-bird, having a metallic beak lined with razor-sharp teeth and occasionally alongside octopus-like tentacles. The Snellygaster was rumored to swoop silently from the sky to pick up and carry off its victims. The earliest stories claim that this monster sucked the blood of its victims. The thing that's funny, though, have you ever heard of the Snellygaster?
No, well, maybe in passing. It sounds like a familiar term or name, but I'm not sure.
If you were familiar with it, you could have done something. I would have accepted two things where I would have said, like, dang, Will, you have this way under control, is if you knew about the metallic beak and you somehow but I don't know where you would get one unless you had it. Somehow had a industrial strength magnet, right? Which is, you wouldn't have that in your house. But
no.
The other thing was, it says 7 pointed stars, which were reputed to keep the snallygaster at bay and can still be seen painted on local barns.
Interesting.
So if you were an expert on the snallygaster and you said, okay, I draw 7 pointed stars in this room, I would have said, oh man, you did the most genius thing you could do.
Episode over. Yeah.
It would have been like 10 minutes. Okay, goodbye everybody.
What I found interesting about this was it was like such a blatant and out in the open attack that like it would change, in a lot of ways, it would change the world permanently, because people would know about this thing. People would be hunting it all over. People would want to know if there's more than one of it. Like it would become a sensation. It would become like a huge sensation.
Oh man. It would become a media circus for sure. And it would open up to a lot of, I'm sad to say this, but it would open up to a lot of false claims and a lot of false footage. And, they're going to make shows out of it, but a small percentage, you're right, I think it would really create the thing is the big difference I think between this and a lot of other like the search for Bigfoot stuff is like this thing would be confirmed to be super fucking real after this shit just went down, and like the government would want to know where the fuck it is, and like it's going to bend a lot of resources. So unlike those other ones, I think it's going to end in a hunt that will be successful. Well, yeah, that's the small percentage I was talking about. Well, there's going to be a small percentage where there really will be actual monster hunters, but there's going to be people claiming that they've caught one or they've killed one or they've seen one of the, you know what I mean, just to be on TV, you know what I mean? But
exactly.
But yeah, there really will. I think it really would spark an actual division of monster hunting in the military, because our government, they're not going to take too kindly to these strange, eldritch monster type deals coming into our
roaming California. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, I know, right? But dude, could you imagine? Thank you everyone for tuning in. Once again, I'm Fritz Frivolous, and this has been Dude, Could You Imagine? If you would like to support our show, you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/dude-could-you-imagine. Or leave us an Apple Podcast review. Don't forget, we would love to hear from you, and you can subscribe to us on Instagram at dude_could-you-imagine, on Twitter at DCYimagine, and on our YouTube channel where you can leave a like and a comment. You can also let us know what you are imagining by emailing us at dudecouldyouimagine@gmail.com. Until next time, folks, this is Fritz Frivolous reminding you to keep on imagining. And it swipes its tail. Let's see how many cops that takes out. That takes out 10 units.
Wait, what? Okay, it takes out 10 units with a single tail swipe. Like, this thing's size keeps adjusting. Like, that would take Godzilla.
Yeah. Well, didn't you say this? Well, I guess Godzilla is bigger than 72 feet.
Yeah, Godzilla is like 1,000 to 2,000 feet tall.
Okay, let's see. It takes out 2. It takes out 2.
That's still fucking super impressive. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
it takes out 2. Well, what happens is it hits one with the tail, and that unit, that car, crashes into the next one.
Now we're making sense. I like this.
Yeah. Okay. I need to be logic based here for William. So.